See, when I do the countdown, I get in trouble. I'm sitting here with my countdown like 5, 4, 3, 2, and then the FBI comes knocking at my door.
What is it you pray for?
Oh, this is gonna be good.
Greetings, salutations, and welcome to the 115th episode of Abyssal Musings. My name is Samuel the Infamous, and joining me tonight are both of my co-hosts. We have Lawrence Knight.
What's up? What's down? What's all around? What's diagonal? Salutations.
And if you heard, yeah. If you guys heard some echo just then, that was because I forgot to turn off the other device to playing the stream. And we also have with us Nomi.
Hello, I'm here. A long time coming, but I'm here, guys. I'm happy to be here.
Seems like everybody's happy to see you too. And also, I think this might be the first time that you've seen the new intro for the show.
It is. The
What
first
did you
time
think?
I was like, man, that was actually pretty funny. So like, yep. I like that she just holds her charger right there, and then the FBI just comes knocking at her door. It was hilarious. I loved it.
I have to add though, she did not give him her permission to do that.
I didn't ask.
Nope. And she came on and saw it, she was pissed too, and of course she blamed me for it.
It's great. It was fun to make. I enjoyed that. I'm glad you laughed at it because it's pretty hysterical in my mind. But yeah. So welcome back to the panel and all that. We have a show for you tonight, folks. So glad y'all are here. Real quick, we're gonna say hello to the chat, and then we can get into the business, as it were. So we've got Lawrence Knight, who's up here on the panel. Aaron Laura, the other first. We've got BTK with us. See Jacob Gallo in the chat. Hello. We got Lepo. Good to see you, my man. Let's see. I see Kohai in the chat. Hello. Good to see you. I'm glad you made it. Suka's in the chat with us tonight.
She posted.
Man, she might not be. Yeah, she might not be. But even so, it's good to see you, Kohai. We've also got Suka in the chat with us. And let's see. I don't think I've missed anybody. I'm just double checking real quick. Oh, there's Old Blindy. Hello, my man. Good to see you. I think that's everybody for now. Nope, I was wrong once again. Hello, Andy Pickle. Good to see you. We are live currently on Twix, Rumble, and YouTube. So if you're in any one of those places, please do drop a chat so that we know that you are here with us, and I will do my best to bring at least one of them up on the screen. Otherwise, yeah, let's get into it. Larry, what do we got tonight?
All right. Well, before we go into that, because I'm gonna give you guys an update, and Nomi doesn't know about this because I haven't had a chance to tell her. But Nomi, the program that I remember when I was writing the Choose Your Own Adventures, and then the program I was using with nuts and took over my PC.
Yeah.
Well, they fixed a bug, so I'm currently working on one right now. I'm going to turn it into a series. So I'm just giving everybody weekly updates. Everything's coming along. It is not quite ready yet. I had to do a rewrite because somehow I accidentally almost killed somebody that's in the chat right now. I'm not going to say who's in this part, but yeah, I had to do a rewrite. I was like, oh snap! Wait a minute. Okay, well, this person shouldn't live through that, and they weren't supposed to die at that point. So I had to do a rewrite on the section, but it's coming along very well. Not quite. I don't think it's anywhere near done yet. Almost, probably just about halfway, and then I've got to start the other half to finish off part one. And then when it's time, then we'll get a small panel together and we'll push forward with it. But as for tonight, we've got some. Since TikTok is still up, we've got some public freakouts. I figured we kind of chill a little bit and laugh. And we've got some news reports that I personally thought was funny in some cases. And then The Devil comes along tonight. We do have Monsters Ball, and tonight's Monsters Ball is Gozer the Gozerian, the Traveler from Ghostbusters versus Q from Star Trek.
Didn't we do one recently with Gozer?
Did we?
I thought we had.
I checked. I remember I was gonna do one, and then I changed it because I looked at the form because I have everything marked down, and
Okay.
Gozer's line is empty. There's no, because every match that I've had, I update immediately after, and there's nothing on there next to her name.
Well, fair enough. I mean, I'm down. I feel like I remember us at least talking about doing Gozer
Well,
at some
yeah,
point.
we spoke about it after a show, but we decided to change it. But it was gonna be her
Okay.
versus somebody else. I can't remember who.
Yeah. Yeah. So welcome in, everybody. We're gonna have some fun tonight. I would like to point out though, TikTok did in fact go down in the United States for about 12 hours, and a bunch of people lost their shit about it, but it is back up now. For how long, who knows? There's some stuff being thrown around about the US possibly becoming a financial partner in the TikTok
It's 90
the company
days.
that owns TikTok or whatever.
Yeah, it's 90 days. And I don't think that's a good idea. I don't think that's a good idea.
I don't either. It's a terrible idea for a government to get
It's
involved
similar
in a
to what
social media platform.
It's similar to what China does with the companies in China, where they take a piece, or they either take over the whole doggone thing or they take over half. But I don't think it's a good
Right.
idea.
I don't want to pay for it either, personally.
Me neither.
But that said, the other option is going to be to just not have TikTok in the United States available in the United States anymore, which I mean, both of those seem a little little authoritarian to me, but whatever.
Mhm.
But it is back up currently, so we'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm. Well, like you said, let's get started. Now, I thought this was hilarious, but I wanted
What's
to show you
hilarious?
guys this.
Tell us, show us. I'm
So,
excited.
I guess this is a basketball game, and it's I mean the clip is no more than, I think it's like 40 seconds, but yeah. Hey, hold on. All right, that's it. Bing! Bing! Okay, so that big kid, he as you can see, he put two rival basketball players to sleep, put them to sleep. So what they were saying is that basically, reading through this, they come. I guess the update on this was the kid that did the knocking out said that the first player that he hit kept calling him the N word, and he just finally had enough of it, and pushed him and knocked him out. And as you can see, one of his teammates ran over, maybe to try to stop him, or try to stop it, or just whatever. And he caught a punch for his trouble. And technically, and just my opinion, hopefully the kid didn't get charged for knocking out the second kid. And here's why. That other kid ran at him. At that point, he's got a right to defend himself, and the kid ran into his fist. So, but he is currently facing 2 charges of simple battery, which, like I said, which I think is ridiculous. The first one, okay, I get it. That kid's calling you the N word. Go tell your coach. Let the adults handle it. But the second one, I think they should drop it. But then again, this is Georgia, and just, I'm sorry, but Georgia, I have family in Georgia. They got the way they apply the law can be really stupid at times. So, it's just, it is what it is. But I think the kid should go into boxing, Sam. I mean, that punch, he did it right.
I mean, yeah, well, he did and he didn't. I mean, he needs to take a lesson from the career of Larry Bird, who said this kind of thing all the time just to get under his opponent's skin, but he didn't mean any of it.
Hmm.
But guess what happened to Larry Bird when he did it to Dr. J? He got punched in the face.
Sure. But most of the time, he just bothered his opponent so much that he was able to dunk on him because Larry Bird was a hell of a basketball player, but he played a psych game that nobody else could match, too.
That's also
Yeah.
very true. Yeah.
Yeah, he did. He did. You know, but like I said, you know, he ended up getting a fist. Eventually, he got a fist in the mouth for his, for his trouble. So
Yeah. I'm seeing in the chat, they're saying the video was actually choppy.
I will say it was pretty choppy. Not gonna lie.
Well, let's try it again. Let's see.
Yeah, just for yeah, that's much clearer.
Yeah. But no, I mean, I agree with what you're saying. I mean, if that kid's calling him the N-word or whatnot, I mean, you're 16, man, and it's in some states that's enough for you to go to a big boy jail. You know?
Yep.
Yeah,
And be charged as an adult.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's you're absolutely right about that. But I mean, I think in this case, 16-year-old kids are full of hormones and angst and random bouts of like emotional outbursts and shit like that. And so, yeah, it's not 100%. It's not surprising that he would react like this, right? 16-year-old kids are not in control of themselves, emotionally or hormonally. And so this kind of thing was probably definitely bound to happen. I hope the kid learns from this experience. Both of them learned from this experience.
I think all three of them are going to learn.
Because, yeah. But it's just there are ways to talk trash that don't involve things that are going to get you punched in the mouth for.
Yep.
Like when I brought up Larry Bird, I mean, I meant what I said about him, but at the same time, Larry Bird was everybody loved that guy, even when they hated him. Like he was a bit of an exception. He could get away with shit that nobody else would have. So that was probably a poor example on my part, but even so, it's yeah. I hope he doesn't get brought up on charges, or if anything else, it's like not felony assault or anything like that. Because you're right, in some states they'd absolutely run him up the river for this.
Yeah, and Georgia is one of those states where they like to take something and just run it up to the max and make the biggest deal out of it, So,
yeah. But Georgia's a strange place, man. It's on the one hand, it's like totally integrated in certain parts, right? Totally. Right? Black and white live together. They don't actually give a shit what color you are, kind of thing. This is usually in the sticks, by the way, which is hilarious. But in the cities, it's completely the opposite, right? Atlanta is a fucked up place. Savannah is a fucked up place, But so yeah, it's a bit of it's almost like you can see a slice of both ends of the spectrum, but nothing in between. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's a strange place. So I hope the kid is all right. The one that got slugged, and I hope the other one doesn't get punished too harshly for it. Because honestly, the one who got slugged sounds like he had it coming. Hey, Amira, welcome to the show.
Hey there.
It's Mira. Hey, Mira, you want to see this black thug knock out this good Christian white young man?
What is up, mother suckers?
Well, I was gonna say it's a video of Larry taking a swing on Samuel, but he said "good Christian man," and I was like, "Oh, well, there goes that one."
Yeah, that doesn't describe me at all.
Here it goes. Watch this, Mira. He hasn't punched him yet.
Oh!
And he punched out the other one.
Wow.
So we're talking is the story is that the adults in the arena, they found out after the fact that the first kid that he knocked out was calling him the N word throughout the whole game, and he finally
And
lost his cool. He lost his cool and he punched him.
so, okay, so if somebody call you names and you're gonna be violent, if you call them
When you're
names,
16,
why?
yes. When you're 16, yes.
Yeah. Well, Beak brings up a point. Nobody's even questioning if he was really saying the N word. Sounds like another hoax to me. I mean, that's possible. I don't know. I don't know enough about this to say one way or the other.
He knocked him to the naughty corner.
But you know, the thing is, you don't see people going around doing that, especially now. Kids today are like anti-racism. Everybody's kumbaya. So I don't know. I think it's a hoax.
It could go either way, and either way, as far as like, I know there are people who will take this sort of thing like very seriously, and they'll want this kid brought up on charges and charged as an adult, as we were discussing earlier. But you know, at the same time, like, kids fight, right? Kids lose their temper with each other. This sort of thing happens as long as it doesn't escalate to like permanent damage or death. Honestly, I think Andy, I do agree they should be able to take your
Samael,
lumps.
that is not the place to fight. If you want to fight, you wait till after the game and handle it off the court.
Yeah, you should
You're
do it out behind the school after the game. Yeah.
right. If you're gonna fight, do it after. You're on a job right now. This is your job. You're a basketball player. Take it
Mhm.
seriously. Be professional.
Also, if he wanted to go professional, like, say the NBA, this is gonna haunt him.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
16 years old. I mean, they don't care about like 16 knocking out somebody. Come on, you're gonna hear.
Wait,
You're gonna.
can I answer? Can I answer the chat, please?
Sure.
Really, I'll be quick. I promise. Beak,
No, go ahead. Take
what,
your time.
Beak, what were you eating on Lapeef last night? I was given a random food, and I didn't really know what it was. It was some kind of yellow stuff. I guess it was curry.
I didn't know you were
And
on Lapeef last night.
yeah, briefly. And then I took a bite, and it was so incredibly spicy that it made me have that instinctual. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? That innate gag feeling that your body tries to do when it's afraid of something, when it's afraid of whatever you're trying to eat. And that's what happened. I ended up not feeling well on repeat. Yeah, it was yellow snow. Yeah, that kind. Yeah. So
Yeah,
that's
Yeah.
what.
I figured you were on because ever since you've dropped by over there, the next day I'll see a clip and it says Amira says women should do this and should do that. Like
Did it?
there was like 2 clips last week. It was like Amira said this and Amira said that. And then I wake up this morning and I go on YouTube. First thing I see is Lapeef Network. Amira says blah 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 blah. And I
No.
was like, oh snap, she was on there last night.
That's funny. No. Oh, okay. So what happened was there's this girl named. Well, actually, I'll talk to you guys about it later if you guys want to. I'm not trying to derail the show. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, talk about it.
Yeah.
No,
This is
Samael,
a
you
chill
okay?
today. This is a chill.
Yeah,
show.
no, I'm good. I was just going to bring up a point relevant to what we saw on the screen here, which was that I used to play intramural basketball when I was a teenager. It was not something I was into. I don't actually care for the game that much, but because I'm tall, it was just expected that I go play, but especially by my dad. So, and I had a teammate who had been a dick for a week straight. Just needling me constantly. And so yeah, when the ref wasn't looking during a game, I might have clotheslined my own teammate.
Oh wow!
Wow, I'm proud of
But he
you.
had it
wasn't
coming.
racism. It wasn't racism
we're-
though.
No. He was more Aryan looking than me.
It's kind of hard to do.
But here's the thing: is like him and I, we've been friends for 30 fucking years since then.
Hell
So-
yeah.
We just got it
Sometimes
out of our
Doctor
system on.
Arian, he landed on the floor.
Yeah, I didn't bounce his head off the court or anything like that. He did go down, but he didn't go down like real hard or anything.
But
and then I helped him
another
back
thing
up.
about this. Another thing about this video, Samael and Larry and Nomi. Is that Nomi? Nomi,
Yeah,
that's
Nomi.
you.
It's
Listen,
me.
Nomi. First of all, come. So you
So-
haven't been here. No, no, don't, no.
No,
So,
no.
Nomi, you haven't been here in a long time, and
I
then
know.
no, don't talk, and then you're just gonna start coming here, and then you don't even say hi, Amira, I'm Nomi.
I didn't say hi, Amira.
Oh, you didn't.
You didn't even acknowledge me.
Oh,
Well, in Amira's defense, I did immediately ask her a question. I kind of didn't give her a chance.
yeah, that's true. Okay, so the point that I was gonna bring up was that people watching this video are going to say, "Oh, no, I'm serious. Oh, that's typical of them people. You know, they're always violent. They're never able to control themselves. It's a lack of prefrontal lobe. You know, that's what they're gonna say, and you can't get away from that stereotype if you're acting like this. You have to be aware of your stereotypes too. That's like an Asian trying to volunteer to have a race contest. You already know if you don't do well, what people are going to say. They're going to say, well, that's them people. It's Larry's fault. It's always Larry's fault all the time. See, that's the thing, Aaron. That's the thing. It's always Larry's fault. And you guys don't see it. You guys think I'm being racist, but it actually really is in the background. It all is his fault.
Thanks.
Yep. Yep.
All right. Well, on to the next one. Now, this one, Amira, even you're gonna laugh. So we've been doing a lot of every once in a while. We've been doing news reports on these women who are going around having sex on OnlyFans and trying to break records and doing stuff like that. And yes, Sam, your favorite girl, she is in one of the articles coming up tonight. But this one was different. This young man got wind of, I guess there was a porn star named Bonnie Blue, and she did a a gangbang, right? And this teenage boy was there in line waiting for his turn, and the worst thing that you could imagine happened to him.
He came last?
His mom.
Oh my gosh.
His mom busted him. Teen busted by mom waiting in line to have sex with porn star Bonnie Blue. Put your clothes on.
Beautiful.
Good.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, no, that's
What do you mean
that's
the worst thing that could happen? That's not. It's one of the, I mean.
As far as being embarrassed.
Well, yeah.
He pulled out.
Well, you know what? Yeah, you're right. It would have been better if it were the father, if doing that, pulling him out of this situation. If it's the mother, it's more embarrassing. That's right. You're right.
Oh, Lord.
Without fail, Luke Astley shows up at exactly the wrong moment, but it's nice to see
Oh
him.
my gosh. We were not talking about this later before.
No, we were talking about something else.
Yeah, we definitely were. We were talking about Bible study coming up.
It's like she has a sixth sense for when we're talking about something jacked up.
I know.
Yeah, Lou, you missed it. Like the first thing we were just talking about this black kid knocked out this white kid during a basketball game because he claims that the kid called him the N-word.
No.
So,
we were talking about Bible study, Larry. Bible study.
Okay, so the kid got knocked out at Bible study.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. But
I mean, there are worse places for it.
You guys aren't.
Yeah, that's also very true.
Let's see. Check this out. Here. Hi, Lou. But see, here's why I said that this was the worst thing for this kid. Look at what the mom said. Put your clothes on, otherwise I'll get the police to come for you.
Ooh.
Put your clothes now. Put on your clothes now and come out of there now.
Wow. But that's a good mama. Because how many moms would not get involved? They'd be like, well, I'll just talk to him later, or we'll have a conversation about this behavior. She said, I'm going in right now, mid-orgy. I am getting what's mine out of this. I'm saving my lineage.
But here's the thing. She filmed him on her TikTok.
people can't live their lives without being online anymore. I don't get it. As I'm online, as I'm sitting here online.
You know, what's funny is, so my ex-wife and I, my oldest used to do like school plays and such, right? And so every time she did, like, we'd go as a family to watch her plays and that sort of thing. And my ex-wife would, we were still married at the time. She would always hand me her camera phone and be like, "You need to record this," right? And I was like, "But I want to watch the play. I want to watch my kid in the play. You know, I don't want to watch it through a fucking screen. I want to watch the actual thing."
Right.
And it turned into this big fight with me and her, because I'm like, "Look, some things you just have to experience. You don't need to be recording all the time." Right? She's like, "Well, how will we remember this?" I was like, "I'll remember it." You know, she's not in that many plays.
A picture
know?
is enough. Just take a picture. A picture
Right?
takes half a millisecond and keep on watching.
You know, yeah, and this was, I think the last time we had this argument was like back in like 2013, 2014, right? Before, I mean, you know, like, obviously social media was picking up steam at that time, but this was before people lived their lives looking through the lens of a camera, right? Constantly looking at a camera, or, you know, filming everything or recording everything, because, you know, you never know when it's going to be good for clicks or some shit, or because we have such low attention spans and such low retention rate that we can't remember the thing that we just did 5 seconds later, because we're all like goldfish now because of this shit. And so when you go in there to do that, I mean, I don't know, maybe if she was like looking to have evidence in case like legal action was required, that's one thing, but I doubt that's what that was. You know, like Larry was saying, if it was posted on fucking TikTok, now it was, she was using her kid for clicks, and that's fucked up. I mean,
Well,
I'm glad she got him out of there, but
did she your ex-wife, did she continue to progress in the social media age and continue with the recording?
oh yeah,
things?
she's addicted to Facebook and shit. Yeah, it has been for a long time. But she's also, here's the other thing. She was also a semi-professional photographer, and I'm talking like real cameras, not the shit on your phone. Um, and so she had a tendency to look at everything with a photographer's eye, because that's kind of what her passion was. She liked she took very professional looking photographs, very artsy stuff. And so she always thought that there was something that could be seen through a lens. And this goes
Well,
back
then
to when
you
she was a
can't
kid back in the 70s.
that is her thing. You can't see. I thought it was just a
Yeah.
shallow obsession. This is actually her thing. You can't really criticize her for that one.
Yeah,
That's her
that's
thing.
kind of that's what I was thinking. I mean,
That
but you
that
can
part I
say,
don't criticize. In fact, I encouraged her on. But
well,
the constant, like, we have to record every second of every day with our family's lives so that we have it for posterity thing. I was like, sometimes you just have to live the experience. You can't always be just like filming everything, you know?
well, I guess that's what this porn star thought. She's claiming she slept with 1,000 guys in 24 hours,
Wait,
and that
who was counting? Who was taking
she was.
accounting?
She's
She
claiming that
was?
she broke the record. She slept with over a
It's
thousand
less
guys in less than 24 hours, and then on top of that, now and that's the line that the boy's mom pulled him out of. Now here's the funny part with her: she filmed it and then went to upload it on her OnlyFans, and OnlyFans blocked it. So she went through all of that, and she can't even make no money off of it on OnlyFans because they won't let her post it.
She could have died all of that just to get blocked. That OnlyFans wouldn't allow it. She could have died, and you.
yeah. She honestly should have, because the actual numbers, the article's not being specific here, was 1,057 men in less than
Yeah.
12 hours.
Yes, that is the
Wait,
exact
individual men, or did they come back for
Yes.
seconds?
no individual men.
Where did she find 1,057 individual men?
Here's where it's a poster she put out. Here's a quote: "Whether you're barely legal or barely breathing, you're welcome to come."
Ew. I don't like that.
Yeah.
No, that's the
Yeah.
boy. That's the teen that got pulled out by his mom.
I hope she smacked them
think.
all the way out too. I hope that she was like, "You why you embarrassed the family changing your last name?"
Oh, I'm sure she did. Look at this
Should have
guy.
beat him all the way out of the place.
You bring your mum to Bonnie Blues.
I think Zillage. I think this was in Texas.
You bring your
I might be
mum.
wrong, but I think it was in Texas.
Texas.
No, I'm sorry. It was in England. I'm sorry. It was England. I was thinking of something else.
Wow, look at that. She shuffled around angrily among the crowd of men. The upset woman asked where her son was, to which someone cheekily replied, "He's coming."
That is not cute. Stop laughing at that stupid stuff. That's not cute.
So several men tried to
Yeah.
calm the mother and get her to quiet her voice, but she refused until her son exited the place with her. I'm 19. I can do what I want. The teen purposefully
I'm not 16 years anymore.
Yeah, he told his mom, "I've signed the consent form." So, however, he ultimately complied with his mom's
So
demand, leaving the premises before betting blue.
I like how he ended the sentence with "so." I signed so.
Yeah, but apparently,
Yeah.
she unseated Lisa Sparks, a Kentucky porn star who held the Guinness Book of World Record for bonking 919 men in one day back in 2004.
Ew.
I mean,
Yeah.
even if you're using condoms at this point, there's still juices everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Well, we've discussed this before. I'm not going to go into like detailed descriptions or anything, Amir, because I remember what happened last time. You turned a little green.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank
Well,
you.
here's something Sam will like. His favorite girl, Lily Phillips, the Australian porn star,
Jesus
and
Christ, I'm
wanted
so
to,
sick of hearing about this bitch,
yeah,
Larry. You know that.
She wanted to come over here and sleep with 1,000 men herself. Well, America wasn't having it. They threatened to deport her if she came over and did it.
Darn straight.
She got threatened with U.S. deportation if she films 1,000 men sex stuff on a.
Well, yeah, she needs to leave the syphilis where she's at. We don't need that here. We already got an epidemic over here.
Dude, she's 23
Fun facts.
years old.
Yeah.
Ew.
Fun fact: syphilis originated in North America.
She needs to leave. What was created over there? The UK. Bad hygiene over there and crabs. We don't need the England crabs over here.
Yeah, here's the funny part though. Even though apparently she was on some talk show, some talk show or something. How much you willing to bet that she did it anyway is gonna fly home and post on her OnlyFans and lie and say that she was in Australia?
I mean, I don't know.
Possibility.
I was meant to do it here, but I got quite a lot of advice saying you'll be deported if you do it here.
You weren't meant to do it at all, lady. You're going to end up in a box. Remembered very poorly by those who knew you.
I always think about that, guys. I always think about that. Do you know that? You guys, I consider you guys like my brothers and sister, right? My brothers and sister, and in Christ. You guys know that I always think about that. Like when these women do these things and have sex with over so many men at one day, I always think about death. Because death can happen right there at that moment. You know, like women have died being raped, and you know, because it's not right. A woman shouldn't be in that situation, and that's, you know, and I guess maybe because she's not being raped, it's not traumatizing and it's not causing death, and it's more just causing her to be numb. But it's just, I always think about that, how death is a possibility, and you're doing all of this just to get a video on OnlyFans.
Yeah, and it says even here, she said that she was stopped by customs officers at LAX, and they questioned her about why they was asking, "Hey, are you here to film to prostitute yourself?" And then she told them that she doesn't get any money for what she's doing.
Oh, so she's here to fill something, all right.
For real.
So what I find kind of interesting. Sorry?
No, go ahead.
I find kind of interesting that Lily Phillips and Bonnie Blue are actually friends, and Bonnie Blue pulled her stunt days after Lily Phillips announced what her plans were, and beat her to it and beat the record before her.
Yep.
I mean, you see that picture? She looks like she stinks.
And
I'm
check
not
this out.
convinced that Bonnie Blue is even human. Lily Phillips, I think, is a young lady going down a very dark path. But Bonnie Blue, I think, might actually be something else. Like, I don't know, some kind of like evil alien automaton. Because she doesn't look like this phases her at all. Like she doesn't feel anything.
And look, speak of what you just said. They're even saying right here how Bonnie has told DailyMail.com that Lily stabbed her in the back by stealing the idea from her after they became friends last year. So Lily Phillips was trying to steal her idea, but because she got threatened with deportation, she couldn't do it, and so Bonnie Blue managed to get it done before her. So they were friends, but they're fighting. So they're fighting over this. And you're right; she does look like she stinks.
Yeah.
I just can't imagine the smell of those covers that were between her legs. Like, gross.
You know,
sorry,
I go out of my way not to describe shit, and then you say something like that.
And
Sorry.
ask LePaul, he's a French lover, so he might have been there.
Hey,
I
bottom of the
think
bottle.
about
Yeah.
stuff like that. Smells are just a thing. You guys know it. Smells is, yeah.
Yeah. Real quick, BTK says sexually transmitted infections have been around for thousands of years and their origins can be traced back to ancient civilizations. The exact origin of any particular STI is unknown. Yes, but what we do know is that during the age of European expansion, syphilis did not exist in Europe. It didn't exist in Europe until they came to the New World, interacted with people here, gave them smallpox, and traded it for the syphilis, which they then took back to Europe. So there's that.
Well, I do know that STDs came from certain people mixing too many specimens of other people, other DNAs and germs and bacteria. So it probably came from people being overly sexual, orgies and so on, and just that bacteria mixing causing an infection of sort.
And them being dirty and not bathing and stuff, because bathing every day wasn't a thing back in medieval times.
That too. And you remember how they used to clean themselves in Rome? They used to have a communal stick with a rag at the end, and everybody used to share it.
Ew.
STDs could have started through that way as well.
Yeah, there was a ritual that was done before raids in Northern Europe back in the day where they would pass around this large basin full of water and everybody would wash their face and their hands in it, but they would also blow their nose in it and then pass it to the next person and all that stuff. Yeah.
Well, because that's what you do when you wash your face. You water in your nose and you clean.
Yeah, but they weren't like cleaning it out they weren't switching it out with clean water each time. It was just getting passed down the line. So the last guy in line had basically a bowl of everybody else's snot and face filth.
Oh, and here's the worst one. Now, Amira, with you being Arab, and I don't know if this is the same thing, or I'll say Middle Eastern. What do you think about this development? She's Turkish and she's married. She and her husband got arrested. I saw the video when they hit the news. She had OnlyFans and she was advertising that her goal she was going to sleep with 100 men in one day, and I could have sworn it was 100 men per day, but she was married, and the cops.
I can help you here.
Okay, please do.
In Turkey, a lot of Turkish people want to be considered European because Turkey was actually aiming to be a part of the EU, but the EU did not accept them. So there are many Turkish that gravitate more towards the Western style than the Arab or because Turkish aren't Arabs. They are
No.
They are
They're
considered
Turks.
Yeah, they're Turks. I mean, they have a whole different race, really, but they are Arabized, if that's a word, Arabized because of their religion and their culture.
So
But
the
a
Arab
lot of
adjacent.
pardon, Arab
So they're
adjacent. There you
Arab
go. Yeah.
adjacent.
So technically, they're part of the Arab world, but they want to be part of the EU, but the EU rejected them. So, and a lot of them relate with Russia. So Russia is kind of like Turkey, and Turkey's like Russia in a way. So this isn't very uncommon in Turkey. So don't be surprised, even though Turkey is a conservative country. If you've ever been there, you would understand that there is a huge divide between the extremely conservative versus the whores.
Yeah. Well, Turkey is a special case considering its history and its location too, because it was once the trading hub of the Great Silk Road. All cultures came through Turkey at some point, right? And so a lot of that stuff got left behind. A lot of those different cultures and stuff got left behind. There's a really strangely unique blend of culture in Turkey, and there has been since the days before Byzantium became Constantinople and part of the Roman Empire.
Right.
Um,
Even
you know,
the buildings they have that are still standing today. There's
yeah,
stuff like
there's stuff from all over. Yeah.
Yeah, from
And
Christianople. What's his name? Christianople.
Constantinople or
Constantinople.
Constantine. Yeah,
Constantine. You know what
Istanbul
I'm
was
talking about.
Constantinople.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
um, and before that, it was Byzantium, and it was right in a path where the Greeks and the Romans were moving through to trade with the Asians in China and Russia and Mongolia, and then bring in the
So
Mongolians and so on. The various tribes were coming through there, and so there's a lot of stuff in the history of Turkey that makes Turkey sort of kind of a unique place, and so
yeah,
you're gonna
it's
see
a
stuff like
big
this.
mix. It's
Yeah.
Arabized. It's Arabized. I want to tell all of you. That's why Larry was saying, like, because Muslims and Middle Eastern. But Larry,
hmm
that's like Turkey and Lebanon are two of the places that you'll see that are the most liberal in the Middle East. Lebanon and Turkey,
Really?
and now, yeah, and now UAE, where Dubai is starting to be that too because Dubai is so Europeanized, I guess you could say. So, yeah.
Now I remember where I saw this. There's a Turkish YouTuber. And she's married. She lives in America, but she was like, they don't, this stuff doesn't fly in Turkey, and they got arrested and they deserved it. Like she made it sound like Turkey was just so strict and conservative
They
that
do.
she wasn't surprised that they got arrested.
Oh yeah, yeah. That no, that's a real thing. In Turkey, the laws are extremely strict. But another thing, like I told you, there's a huge divide between the hoes and the conservative. There in Turkey, you will if you walk in Turkey, if you go to the malls, you'll see girls walking around in mini skirts and crop tops, and then you'll also see girls in full drobe and
Burkas.
and other girls that just cover their hair. So you see a lot of it in Turkey. You see everything, but the laws are very much Muslim laws, very much conservative laws, and if you get caught outside like that in the wrong crowd, you can get stoned.
Mhm.
Oh snap!
Yeah, and I mean, there's a fairly heavy, as Amir was saying, Islamic presence in Turkey, but there's also a pretty sizable remnant of the Eastern Orthodox Christian Church as well.
Mhm.
And they're also very, very conservative and old school.
Well, I figured the Orthodox aren't going to go for that either. I mean, it's not like
No,
they weren't stoning people.
no,
They're
they're
Aryan,
very
Stoning
big on
people too.
yeah, they're very big on the Old Testament.
but they're Aryan. So you think about that whole area, Iraq, Iran, the Kurdish, the Syrians, the Turkish, Lebanese, Levantine people, Aryan. All of them are Aryan.
Oh
That's like
Lord.
the Caucasian.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's her getting taken away by police.
Huh?
Yeah. Fun fact too, when you hear about the Trojan War and where that took place in Troy, right? Troy is in what was ancient Turkey.
Hmm.
They didn't call it Turkey at the time, because it referred to each city state as its own sort of nation with its own king kind of thing. So it was just Troy, but it's in what became Turkey later. Um, so yeah.
I wonder what happened to this chick for her to have that's a bandage on her head. 'Cause I remember I saw the video when they took her out. She oh,
they are likely to beat your ass if you act out in Turkey. That's what I'm telling you. So
Well,
don't like
it says that she was resisting an officer on duty and slandered. So they must have kicked her butt.
you can't
Yeah, that's
even
not a
speak
good
wrong.
idea.
Yeah, you can't speak wrong to certain crowds. It just depends on the crowd in Turkey. But the majority of crowds, the men are very, very conservative and very much enforcing the laws on the women.
Yeah. I don't know.
Well,
It's like I said, Turkey's a strange place. It's like one of those weird places where the very old and the very orthodox meets the very new and the very liberal, and it doesn't work, but it does at the same. It's a very strange place.
Well, the best way I can see of all that, because I saw this report earlier this week. I'm glad that they're shaming people like that. Like, no, if you're gonna act dirty, we're gonna treat you like that. So we're gonna make you known for the harlot that you are. So I'm happy that Turkey did that, because we here in the United States we lost that. We lost of being shaming people for what I don't know, their kinks or whatever that is deemed weird and needs to be in their bedroom, not ours, theirs.
That's right.
So so I'm glad that they're kind of doing that, because they need to have some sort of law and order. And here in the United States, we just became too soft on that.
We became too accepting. We can't say anything. And in Turkey, there's another thing I want to point out is that northern Turkey is the place that's more liberal. Southern Turkey is more conservative.
Yeah. I'm kind of a mind that I don't care if a dude wants to get railed by another dude. I really don't. But you're absolutely right, Nomi. It needs to stay in their bedroom. It does not need to be anybody else's business ever, especially not out and proud where kids can see it. And I'd say the same thing about straight people. Keep your shit in the bedroom. You know,
Right.
It doesn't belong in the eyes of others.
Yeah.
No, I agree. Now you look at what she said. Apparently, one of the officers didn't care about taking a photo with her. But here's what I'm looking at. Just got me is that so the court got her for damaging. They're saying she's damaging to moral values and being provocative to society, and she insisted that she did not deserve to be judged. But you're walking around like that. Okay.
She's saying that she doesn't deserve to be judged. You're kind of parading it to be judged.
Yeah.
This is the third week, Larry, where you've brought up something where a woman has said, "Oh, well, I'm judged, or things aren't going well for me because of this condition or this thing that I do," even though I post pictures of it on the internet for the entire world to see, and that's what I do.
Or my baby daddy stopped giving me money because the judge ruled that I make enough money on my OnlyFans that I can support my own kids, but took away my custody rights, and now my ex-husband has full custody now.
Yeah. There are TikTok and Naomi, and you know this is true, not because you did, but I'm sure you've probably seen them on YouTube. Also, there are channels that show nothing but women going on TikTok talking about how they divorced their husband of 10, 15, 20 years and left him for a 25-year-old Chad, and then didn't understand why the Chad didn't stick around. In fact, one lady was live on her TikTok waiting for the guy. The guy stood her up, and she messaged him because she thought something happened to him. And he said, "You really thought I was going to go on a date with you?" And then he said, "MILFs are for screwing, not for dating. Bye."
Wow. Hey, I wanna bring up something. Since we're talking about suckings and effings and all that, I thought this would be a great time to bring up something so special that I learned today. So I just want to tell you guys that I learned that there has been a video leaked of of somebody that we know named Destiny, sucking dick. So
This was actually a while back. Yeah.
That's actually old news.
Why didn't anybody tell me? Because
because
everybody knows that Destiny's a freak.
No one DM'd her and told her
nobody
Destiny's
told me.
Wait.
He was sucking dick
But did you hear about the lawsuits he's facing right now?
Yes, I've heard about that too.
Yeah.
Oh, not
I
just
heard about
lawsuits.
So-
he might go to prison.
Yep.
He,
They
he,
talking
he
about prison
could, yeah,
time.
it could get really bad. I do want to point this out though, Amira. Since nobody told you about this, it's allegedly Nick Fuentes' dick.
I know that. I
Yeah.
know. And this is what made me so elated. I was so happy because I was like,
You're
really?
so happy that he was sucking dick.
Well, yeah. I always
What's that?
knew.
Sure.
No, me. I always knew he was a faggot. I can smell one from miles away.
Dude, he looked like
Come on,
it.
girl.
I always knew. And now I'm just so happy that I was right. I'm just
Yeah, with him, the obviously he's in a lot of deep shit with all the sharing of stuff he shouldn't even have, but he's always been very like you remember when his wife left him shortly after ABBA was dancing with her.
His
Yeah.
wife.
Yeah. So like they were always very open about the sick shit they were doing behind closed doors. Like this was no secret. The secret stuff was like the stuff between him and Lawrence Southern that got weird, and which I don't know too much about that, but and him like hoarding and archiving files of him stuff he'd filmed other people doing and then releasing it to random fucking people. There's a whole revenge porn thing that's going on right now. It's pretty ugly.
yeah, I heard about that.
But him being a sexual deviant and a piece of shit is I mean, that's kind of his whole brand.
No,
It's
but the
his
thing is
destiny.
he was always so much of a little prick. And the thing is he always seems like this person who's like, well, I'm always right, and I hate that. And then since he's like that, I kind of knew he was a faggot. I kind of knew it, and everybody didn't believe me, and now everybody knows that he is. So I'm just vindicated.
Dermy
the other
was
thing too is you remember what he said about conservatives, how he was just like, we should all be wiped off of social media or something like that, and that he had like no sympathy for us, and I was like,
Vaj says much worse. No, Dermy actually used plushies yesterday to teach us all about the dirty shit that Destiny does, and I'm still recovering
No.
from that.
Plus, I am happy I did not see that.
Yeah. No
Yeah,
one
that's
wants to.
that's awful. But yeah, it's I don't know. And also Zillage Stuka, just to let you guys know, like, I don't know for a fact that there was anything actually between Lawrence Southern and Destiny. That is alleged, but I have heard some stuff from people who are deep diving into this that
Chronic.
there were actually not him. Other people are doing it too. But that there were a lot of personal back and forth between them about love and respect, and we're going to leave each other's spouses for each other and get married, and kind of that kind of shit. And we know that his wife told him to stop associating with Lawrence Southern at one point before she left him.
But that makes me look at Lauren Southern weird, because I knew Chronic always hated her, but I didn't know why. Because Lauren always said that she was this conservative Barbie. She was just like the beacon of, conservatism. But you're hanging out with Destiny and making these kind of, things with Destiny?
Yeah, and they always say it was like a mutual respect kind of thing, and because they could sit down and have a conversation and nobody lost their shit, which is funny because anytime that Destiny's in a room with anybody else and he decides he wants to go down that internet blood sport, debate path, right? He's not civil at all.
He loses it.
like election night, he flipped his lid on when he realized that Trump was winning.
Yeah, and that all that shit that he was saying about, like, if you're at a Trump rally and you take a stray bullet, good, when he said that.
Yeah. What do you mean, BTK? He says, I'm trying to remember my first show watching Amira. What kind of influence have Sam and Larry had?
The hell are you talking about?
I knew I was worse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was worse. I mean, because well, you don't know, but I have a long history with Chronic, Destiny, Yogi No Abs. He's not here anymore because Chronic ran him off the internet. But I have a long history with all these peoples and Andy Worski, and he's not around anymore because I heard he's been.
He's back.
Oh,
Is he?
really?
Yeah, he's on that one guy who has like the spastic attacks. He's just like a co-host on his thing. But yeah, the dude like literally is like about to have a heart attack the entire show, and Andy just sits there and laughs. It's the weirdest freaking thing.
Crazy. Well, Andy is supposedly on drugs. He's on coke, I guess.
I think he still is, yeah.
Yeah, people call him a cokehead. So.
Speaking of Andy Pickle, Destiny cannot believe in the crap he says. I see. That's the thing is, I don't think that he does. I don't think that he does at all. I think that he's leveraged a large audience that does believe the shit that he says into a weapon that he uses against people. It's one of the reasons I don't like talking about him too much, is because he does go after people who talk about him, and he will dig up shit on your personal life, and he will publish it because he's a fucking asshole.
The only person
who passionate.
He's not because he doesn't really believe. That's the thing. You can see when people actually believe what they're saying, even if it's crazy. You can tell when a person actually truly believes it because they're able to back it up, and you can see the passion. They back it up with emotions, experiences, and testimonies. They can do that because they actually believe it. But he doesn't. He doesn't back anything up with testimony or emotion. And yeah, and the other thing I wanted to bring up was I forgot what I was going to say. Anyway, we can just move on, I guess.
No, I mean, look, like I said, this is a chill stream, so whatever you guys want to bring up, that's fine. Like even last night with why you were on Lapeep, like I didn't even catch it. I was like, well, okay, well, what was going on? So
No, I came on at the last minute because I didn't have anything else to do. I was like, okay, I'll come by. But they were having a conversation, and the thing is, Di, it's a woman named Di, and Di as in DYE, not Die as in Die. No. Anyway, but she was talking about how she wants a man and she wants a husband and she can't find one, and her husband isn't coming and blah blah blah. And she said that she used to be a carpet muncher, like back in her early 20s. And if you guys don't know what carpet muncher means, it actually means that it's a person that, should I explain or no?
Yeah, go ahead.
We know what it is.
Oh, okay. Well, if you guys don't know, okay, whatever. So she said that she was a carpet muncher back in her early 20s, and like she's changed and she wants God to send her perfect husband. And the panel was asking her, like, how do you know that God is going to send you this perfect husband? And she said, I know, and I will know that he is perfect and he's right for me because God will tell me so. And then when it was my turn to talk to her, you guys already know what I did. I did what I always do, and I just asked questions. So they said, Amira, what do you have to say to her? And I said, Di, how long have you been following God? And she said, oh, I've always been following God. Like since I was a child, I grew up in the church and blah, blah, blah. I said, but you just said that you were a lesbian in your early 20s. So how? And she said, well, no. And the whole panel, you should have seen the whole panel. They were like, and she said, no. Well, she said, no. It doesn't matter. Even when I was carpet munching, I was still a follower of God, and God was still
a child of God.
Seriously, know me. And then I was like, okay, so you said, shut up, Siri. I'm not talking to you. And then so she said, well, I've always been and I tell her, look, just tell me, when have you decided to devote yourself fully? And then she said, oh, like a couple of years ago. And I said to her, I said, how will you know that this man is perfect for you? And she said, God will tell me so. I told her this. I said, listen, no man is perfect. If you're seeking for perfection, it's not going to happen. And you mentioning that it's going to be perfect for you, that is not how it's supposed to work. And I also told her, what else did I tell her? Hold on, guys. Don't cut me off yet. I'm going to remember it.
I'm not going to cut you off.
I said, God is not Santa Claus. God is not Santa Claus. He's not here to make your wish come true. He's not the tooth fairy. If he sends you a man, you will walk past him because he will not be your idea of what he should be. That's what I said. I said you will probably have your husband walk right to you and, you know, talk to you and everything, and you will walk right past that man because you are not in the right space. You're thinking completely wrong. And you guys know where the panel went from there. So,
Yeah. Sounds like she was a lug.
what is that?
It's an acronym, lesbian until graduation.
Yeah.
Chicks in
No.
college who play around and then
Yeah,
after
yeah,
they
yeah.
graduate, they go find a man and they have 3 babies and they're married for the rest of their lives to a dude.
Yeah, well, she wasn't in college. She was just young. She was just in her early 20s. Oh my gosh, don't do this. I get cursed out. Don't do this. Samael is going to get mad. Samael, I'm sorry. I
Oh,
didn't do
man. If you guys don't know what there's a reason why Amira is saying you know what happened next. Take this lady right here in the middle with the long hair.
my
This
best friend.
Baddies.
I want to respond to
Y'all
Lucky.
just said the
Nobody
average
cares
woman
about
is
a
over
baddie.
is weighs more than the average woman.
How long was it, Amira, before she started cussing you out?
Go 2 minutes in. There you go.
Hold
Her
on.
look.
We can't
Hold
do
on,
that.
Eve.
More than just that, and her weight could be the only negative. Is what I'm saying. You're a regular
Because her
guy.
main value
Hold
is
on,
her
hold on.
look.
We
Yes,
can't
Hold
do
on,
that.
Eve,
We
Eve,
can't
Eve, hold
say that
on.
for the man itself in its entirety. We can't.
Eve, hold on, Eve.
Okay.
Chill, hold on a second. A woman's value is in her looks first, and then it goes into personality, things that she's offers, stuff like that. It's her value first, her looks. That's the first
Pass
thing.
more.
There's
Pass
other
more.
things, but her value is in her looks.
Pass more? How much?
Pass forward. I don't think this is the one where she cursed me out. Yeah, she didn't. Yeah, this isn't the part where she cursed me out. This is a different clip. But yeah,
Young
if you go
black
to the,
woman comes on a panel, interrupts mid conversation.
no, yeah, that's not the part. I don't want to. Don't do it. Don't do it.
That is the one where she cussed you out because you were wearing glasses.
Yeah, but this isn't the clip. This is just an 8-minute clip. So this isn't the clip.
I could have sworn it was.
Yeah, no. But yeah, that is what typically ends up happening is they start calling me racist and they start saying that I shouldn't be speaking because I don't understand black
Being
issues.
black.
You don't
But
understand English.
I obviously not. So Nomi, you know what they said? You know what one lady said to me, Nomi?
What
She
did
said,
they say?
she said, "Oh, you don't even speak English. You don't even speak good English, and you're over here trying to talk about black issues. You don't even speak proper English." I'm like, I speak English better than you, but I didn't say that. But I think to myself, I speak English better than you, but you're gonna criticize me. But these are the main people that tell you to not discriminate, but you're discriminating against me.
When did you go in it? I gotta go back and look at that show.
Which one?
Yesterday.
Hey, zombie box.
When they was yelling at you.
Zombie box.
It's I don't know. It's towards the end, but I don't want to derail the show with Lapeef. I want us to like
We're not
have
derailing the show. I just wanted to show them. I just wanted to show you getting cussed out by that drunk lady.
no.
She was
I
like, "What did she say?" She said, "You make your career. You are damn Kardashian. You making your
She's-
career on your back."
You're right. She said, "You Kardashian." She said, "You make all your money and all your fame on your back, Amira." Like,
And then she
okay.
started threatening everybody. She was like Bruiser. She was like, "I'm gonna
Yeah.
eliminate you, Buzzer." And then that other girl, the one with the numbers, she was like, "A
Yeah.
B C
A,
D
D,
E
C,
F
D,
G,
know what
bitch
I
ass
mean?
nigga, you know what I mean."
Yeah, it was funny.
Oh, that lady was hilarious.
She
And then
was
there's Anton. "This is your fault, Mr. Let Go." No, Anton, no.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah.
What do you think, Devil?
About what?
Yeah, seriously, what kind of question is that?
I was gonna say I don't think Devil's ever been to Black Tube.
No,
Yeah,
I'm not
Well,
welcome.
That sounds
seriously, though.
scary.
Well,
I
I
don't
mean,
want to go there.
This
It's
is just
crazy. Know me.
this is the thing I've just noticed in general, and just broadly, is that people are having a hard time accepting truths, whether it be about them or about members of their race and culture. Like I was watching a YouTuber earlier today, and he was had to explain it. He was explaining to my people. He was like, all of you people that are sitting there saying, F America and you hate Donald Trump, and somebody in the chat was like, I wish somebody would deport me to Africa so I can it's better over there, this and this. And it was Anton actually. And Anton was like, take your behind over there to Nigeria somewhere and see if they like you. They don't like black Americans. They think we're all lazy. And somebody in the chat came on and was like, "Yeah, I'm Nigerian. That's true."
Let's be honest. There's not a single place on the entire continent that is in better shape than the United States. Just being honest here.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
Somebody said I should take Rachel to Lapeef.
Oh, let me tell you something. If you got her on the panel, JR would be bugging you every day to get Rachel back on.
Yes. They would set her straight. They would make her know she's not black.
Well, they'll try, but I think Rachel will hold her own and then get off, cuss you out, and say she's never getting on there again.
That would be so. Actually, thinking about it now, that would be so. Because she would start off like, "Look, Amira, it's gonna be me and my sisters against you," and I'm gonna be like, "Yeah, okay."
When they start going at you, she's all like, "Yeah, you see this white chick?"
Yeah.
I'd be like, "Oh, really?"
She makes macaroni and cheese better than you.
The moment they hear her, the moment she starts talking, they're gonna be like, "Oh, this chick ain't one of us."
Exactly.
I don't watch a lot of Lapeef, but like even back in the day when it was a little more civilized, it didn't take nothing for any one of those women to just start ripping into one of the others.
Seriously, all you got to do is look at them wrong, and they're like, "What are you looking at?" Like,
Yep.
Oh my god.
But no, I mean that doesn't surprise me, and I was waiting for that. I wish I had watched it yesterday. I can't remember what I was doing, but that doesn't surprise me that you go in there, you ask some questions, and you get called and you get called a racist for asking questions. There's nothing
Seriously.
wrong with asking questions. I don't understand how that's racist.
Well, because I'm not allowed to ask because I'm not a black, and if I'm not a black, I don't understand black problems, and
Well,
so
just
on.
give Larry a call.
Yeah, and here's the thing too. If I
Let me
was
call my
on that
black
panel,
friend.
if I was in the chat, I would have said, "What the hell does skin color have to do with her being an active lesbian, sitting in church saying she's a Christian?"
That's right. What does that have to do exactly? But you're right, Larry. It's a way to divert the issue into something else instead of focusing on the actual issue at hand.
It's confusion by devil right there.
Let's talk about the person's color rather than talk about the issue of the hypocrisy that I was doing of like
That's
carpet
a common
munching.
tactic too. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I was carpet munching and I was enjoying it, and then I called myself a. Wait, what are you laughing at, Samael?
Nothing. Just remember Suka's in the chat.
Oh,
But you know what though? On the straight side too.
I'm leaving.
On the straight side too, that's no different than people going out to the club on Saturday night, sleeping with each other, and then showing up at church on Sunday the next morning. Sitting in the pews, looking at each other, acting like they don't know what each other did last night.
Right, Larry, you're right. Exactly what you said.
Yeah, and I'll say this from a church that I was going to. I didn't know one of the church leaders and their husband. Somebody let it slip that they were active participants in orgies.
Yeah,
what would be the situation where somebody would say that in church?
Well,
it was. I overheard a conversation that I shouldn't have heard. I was in the right place at the right time to hear it. because I guess because the wife had disclosed it to somebody because she was feeling guilty about what they were doing, and then that person told somebody else, and they didn't know I was standing there.
So Larry was hiding in the girls' bathroom. Confirmed.
No, I wasn't.
No, but
Really
all
serious.
but to be fair, all like a lot of the church people who go to church and stuff, a lot of it's hypocrite. I mean, the whole Church of Me was built on the fact the dude who built it got tired of he was playing, I guess, a piano in at this like bar or something, and he would see people who were going in church claiming to be pious, claiming to be these, altruistic people, and then they would be like they're paying for hookers that
Go
night.
to the naughty corner. Go to the naughty corner.
Yeah.
Sorry, zombie.
Time him
And
out, Amira.
they'd be there using prostitutes and drinking, doing all these things, and he'd be like, "Why are you doing that?" And then going to church and trying to act like you're a good person, and chastising yourself and beating yourself in the confessional booth because of doing these things. You're just having fun. And he got so sick and tired of seeing people who were like so fake about it that's why he started the Church of Satan.
So what does it mean? So the Church of Satan is just like you do whatever you want and you don't feel bad about it?
Pretty much.
It's no, kind of, yeah. Boiled down to the very, very basic. It's essentially basically do what you want. Don't fuck up people who don't deserve it, and do what you want. It's not against fucking up people who do deserve it, though.
Yeah, Satan's not even like they use him as a figurehead, but it's more about not feeling guilty for your just doing what humans do, essentially. Yeah. And they use Satan solely just to kind of spit in the face of Christianity, essentially.
That's exactly why they do it. It's a metaphor for humanism. They see themselves as their own gods, their own deities. Their birthday is the most important holiday to them. It's very, very self-centered, very hedonistic in a lot of ways, but in other ways, it's a little more honest about what humans are too. But all of the satanic stuff and the upside down crosses and all that stuff that they put on, right? That's strictly because they're trying to piss Christians off. That's all that is.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, just a quick switch. So Pete Hegseth, he did become Secretary of Defense, but JD Vance had to break a tie because Mitch McConnell, Lisa Murkowski, and another chick, Susan Collins, they all turned on him. Yes.
I have to go. I'm sorry.
Okay. No worries.
I might be back.
Thank you for being
I
here.
might be back.
Okay.
Bye.
See you.
All right. But I just wanted to throw that out there. I figured and I know why it got to this point because they knew Pete was gonna win. So all of a sudden his ex-wife's sister comes out of nowhere and starts lobbing allegations of abuse that he was doing to her sister with no proof. It's the same thing they did to that Supreme Court justice. Well, all of a sudden, this lady comes out of nowhere and says he did all this stuff with no proof.
Yeah, that's exactly it. All the left has is blank accusations that they can never back up, but somehow people are supposed to lose their job or not get a job because somebody said something at some point to somebody else. It's so stupid.
Yeah. All right. Well, with that said, I think you guys know what time it is.
Time for a sandwich.
Miller time?
Is it a quiz?
No, that was last week, Nomi.
Oh.
They've gotten better, Nomi. They've gotten better.
All right. Sorry, Sam. I cut it off right while you were talking.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Oh.
Yeah, the quizzes have gotten better. I cut out the torture. I cut out the torture. So this week's battle is between Devil and correct me if I'm wrong, because Sam asked this question in the back. So tonight it's supposed to be Gozer the Gozerian against Q from Star Trek. have we have we done a match with Gozer prior? Because I remember we were gonna do one and I changed it.
No, we haven't done one, at least not that I've been here for, with Gozar. But this one's kind of preset. I mean, who's gonna go up against Q? I mean, he literally can dismantle reality. He's omnipotent, and Gozar isn't. So, aren't we kind of already setting the table for who's the winner here?
Well, originally I was gonna say that, but if you watch Picard, I think it's Picard. I believe Sam, was it season 2 or see? It might be season 2 where Q died.
Season 2 didn't happen. I refuse to acknowledge that as anything.
Yeah.
But one of the seasons, he apparently he was saying that Qs can get sick. Now Qs can die. Even a episode of the Next Generation, they had a new ensign that was on the Enterprise and didn't know that she was a Q, and her parents had been killed, and they were full-blooded Qs because the Q continuum hit her house with a fireball.
Yes, but it was
a
Q
tornado
that did it.
Yeah, because they tried to leave the Q. That's why I hate talking about Q. Everything's freaking Q. But it doesn't matter because, like, literally, if him and Gozar were about to go at it, he could just go, and Gozar is in a black hole 40 billion light years away. I mean, he can't really give him a flu if he's literally, So
yeah, I think the
okay.
only
Well, hold on, Sam. Before you jump in, all right. So let's do this then. Let's pick somebody.
Me versus Gozar.
We could do that. Yeah. Let's
I got that bitch.
Which version of you?
Me right here. What are you talking about? This is the only version. Y'all made these red paintings with horns and shit. No, that's just made up. This is me.
Now here's another question. What about Q versus Beetlejuice?
Q versus Beetle? That's even worse, man. Beetlejuice just makes pranks and shit. Yeah, he's gone. You got to think of another omnipotent being, another being that is all powerful and can change reality and stuff. Like, there's plenty of characters that are like that. In X-Men, I think
there's Mephisto from Marvel. Dormammu.
He's still not omnipotent. But Jean Grey and Scott Summers' kid, one of them I think is Omega level mutant that can change reality, or is it? No,
that's
Fantastic.
Mr.
It's Mr. Fantastic's kid, right?
So you're talking about we could do
Franklin
that.
Richards.
So,
Yeah, he's omnipotent.
So Franklin Richards versus Q. We can do that.
Okay.
You could also go with Legion, who is Professor X's illegitimate son, who is not only an Omega level reality bending mutant, but he's also schizophrenic.
Right. Okay. So then, which matchup do you want to set up?
Let's do that one, Legion versus Q, if we're gonna do it.
Okay. Well, Sam, you're better versed with Legion than I am.
So the only thing that limits Legion's power is his inability to get his mind right. His schizophrenia, his insanity cripples his ability to focus on anything. If he was whole mentally, there wouldn't be anything that could stop him. Because he can literally, anything that he thinks happens, which is similar to the Q. The Q can just make stuff happen. You remember that episode, Devil, where Q becomes human and he's down in engineering. They're like, yeah, we've got this massive problem. We can't figure out how to do it. And he's like, oh, it's easy. Just change the gravitational constant of the universe.
Right. And they're looking at him like,
it's like, we can't do that.
We'll put that on the maybe list, okay?
Right. So I think that Q would have an advantage there. But Q is also not known for like straight up combat. They're mercurial and mischievous, and they like to do pranks and play games and that sort of thing. So I don't know. I think that probably balances out the crazy on Legion's part.
That's the thing is Q's Legion has intent. If he, you know, Q's, it's like they don't care. At least I'm not the Q that's on the Enterprise all the time messing with them, but the Q as a whole, they see everything else as like unimportant and not really worth their time, kind of arrogance to it. I think so. If they were battling, I think the Q would just be like, I don't really care, goodbye type thing, more than want to fight. And Legion might actually want to fight, might be like, no, let's get into this, biatch.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there are Qs that take more active notice than others. I mean, if you've ever seen Voyager, when the Q that we know was about to get his butt kicked by the female Q, who it turns out is his wife, and she was very interested in him flirting with Captain Janeway to the point where she was getting ready to annihilate her.
Yeah, well, jealousy. Yeah, no, they can be jealous and stuff, but like I said, it's just if you would. Are we using Q from Star Trek? Is the question. Or are we using AQ?
We can use AQ.
Because AQ, any Q, like I said, the majority of them, there's intent in the fight matters. Legion would be like, okay, let's fight. Q would be like, I don't even care.
Well, how about this? Since we're using AQ and they all have different personalities, because also on Voyager there was a young Q on there that he was mischievous, but he was also eager to fight. And he was I believe he was a Starfleet officer too. I can't remember. But let's say that this is a Q that is willing to fight and is looking at this guy for whatever reason. You know, whether it be, you know, like he's the Q we know where he's testing, you know, takes a liking to this guy and he's testing him, or, you know, or sees him as a threat for some reason. So, like I said, I mean, there's thousands of them. They don't all think the same.
Yeah. Well, that's because for a race of omnipotent god beings that all share the same letter as a name, they are individuals. They are a race of people. Whereas Legion, let me put this out there with Legion. Legion would be a challenge for them because his crazy is also dangerous. Like if he has a nightmare about the floor being lava and you're in the room, you're going to die because the floor will literally turn into lava just because that's what he's seeing, even if it wasn't real the first time. Like he bends reality around him.
And we also have to take into consideration this. If the Q found out there was a being that was equal to them in the ability, would they actually stand against him as a whole? Because then he has nobody on his side except for himself, right? He can make multiple of himself, but he's still himself. They have a species, like you said. If they saw a threat, would all the Q come together? And if that's the case, could he really stop them?
Well,
that's the thing. The Q have done that with threats in the past.
Yeah, the continuum would definitely see him as a threat, especially with him having mental issues and stuff like that. They'd be like, this guy, you know, he's going around, you know, he could start tearing up problems. You know, he could start problems that because his abilities are so similar to theirs, that people who may hear about it might think that it was a Q that did it. Because remember, the Q we know had his powers taken away. What did the other Q say? I can't go to another solar system without hearing about all the BS that you're pulling. It's making the rest of us look bad. You know, and he went to the continuum and complained, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm the one that got your powers taken from you." Somebody
I want to hear your opinion.
Huh?
I said, Nomi, I want to hear your opinion. She's all like, you dorks.
No, I'm definitely listening pretty intriguingly on this. But no, Sam makes a really good point on the, like, he's dangerous. Like, if he's having that nightmare, you're gonna die. So I think he's pretty good if he can have. Well, he does have the power. So yeah, I agree with Sam on this one.
I agree with Sam.
I think that if like what you were saying, Devil, if the Q as a whole turned their collective powers against Legion, Legion would be toast. I don't think he could stand against all of them all at once because they are each of them omnipotent. On an individual level, I think that he might give an individual Q a lot of trouble. But also, Old Blindy makes a good point: is that Legion is flesh and blood. The Q don't have to be.
That's
True.
true.
And they actually aren't. They take on different forms, but if I remember correctly, they don't actually. They evolve to the point that they actually don't
Yeah.
have
No,
a
they don't.
solid form.
They don't. Question though, how does Legion? Because I haven't gone into it deeply on any of his things. How does he? Like, is he just thinking it happens? He doesn't have to like the Q. They snap. They don't have to snap, but they snap.
It
Does
depends
he
on
do
which
anything?
personality he's in at the moment, I guess. Which he can shift through like fucking water. But he's I suppose like there are times when he has an intent and yes, it's a think it and it happens kind of thing. There are other times when he's just out of his head with like mental agony or whatever, and things just happen around him, you know, because like the power is off its leash, if you will.
I was just asking because I just think it'd be kind of the gayest battle ever if they're just sitting there snapping at each other.
You know what they say about wizard, like if two wizards are fighting, an outside observer isn't going to see anything because most of the battle's taking place in their minds. So like visually, yeah, this probably wouldn't be super exciting.
Yeah, it
Gayest
says
fight
here.
ever.
So his power is power manifestation, of course, with the ability to create spontaneous mutations with varying attributes due to either his immune powers, mental instability, or a combination of both. David creates a new persona or alter to govern each one of these new powers. Now that's a weakness. So he has to create. It's like
That's a retcon too, but yes,
yeah,
it's sort of like do you know Dial H for Husk?
yeah.
So like this is a chick or the Resurrection Man from DC, right? Each of them can like select from a variety of powers, but in the Resurrection Man's case, he has to die and like resurrect, and then he can choose whichever power he has, but he only gets one at a time, right? With the Dial H for Husk, she dials on her little thing. It's sort of like Ben 10 before Ben 10, and she selects a power, and that's the power that she has. She can have super strength or she can fly, but she can't do both at the same time. Right. So in the retcon, yeah, it'd be a little bit like that. But like I said, he can shift between personalities like it's nothing too.
Right. All right. Well,
So,
let me bring up Q. What if Nomi was a Q? That'd be funny.
I mean, honestly, probably. Honestly, if the Q caught him sleeping and like altered his dream, maybe to convince him that he dies, Legion's own power would make that happen.
And can I just say that Q's wife would?
Yeah, she's scary. That lady's scary. So it says, so their power capabilities reach cosmic levels of power with a mere thought and a snap of their fingers or a wave of their hand. The Q has a limited power over space, time, and matter. They can travel through time, tamper with the primordial gene pool, so they can move just as fast as he does. I mean, they can do things with a thought, but they don't have to shift between personalities to do it.
They could literally. Good.
I think the snapping is really more of an affectation to for the viewer. They don't actually have to do that.
No, that's what it's saying. They don't have to.
So they could go back in time to when Legion and give Professor X like fucking erectile dysfunction, and just Legion's gone.
Yep.
I mean,
because he's born and they're not. They're kind of put into will.
It's not unbelievable. X is in a wheelchair.
Yeah, well,
He's like, this never happens. I don't know what.
and according to Q, when he was asked about his past, he said they were never born. They've always
Yeah.
They just always have existed. So devils, like you said, they don't have to engage him at all. They could just go back. They could just go back and sterilize Professor X. The moment he got busy,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
So
the fight's
I
over
don't
right
know.
there.
I think Q probably takes it, given the fact that they can focus, they can concentrate, and they can act on their will as they want it to happen, whereas he has a great deal of trouble, like, focusing. The real danger with him is that shit happens that he doesn't intend because his power is out of control. And he'd be a real threat if he could focus, but because his mind is split so much, I don't think he can. I think Q takes it.
I would say so.
I have to agree. Now, here's a question for next time, and we could bring Q back. Q versus Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet, with all the jewels, everything fully loaded.
I think Q takes that too.
Yeah, I think you would run into the same, like we were talking about. The Q would see him as a threat and probably gather together. And then, like I said, then you can't do nothing because you're dealing with multiple omnipotent people. So,
True. Well, in this case, I agree with Sam. I think Q takes it. I think Q would I think, especially because they've always existed. As even with his multiple personalities, Legion's not gonna outsmart him. And like you said, they Q's not even gonna engage him. They're just gonna go back in time and do something to Professor X.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. It's just I think it's pretty cut and dry. I think we had to talk through it to get there, but I think it's pretty obvious now that we have.
yeah.
Well, with that said, I guess that is it. Q takes it.
Yeah.
Q takes it. And with that said, honestly, I am out. That is the end of the show.
But I want to bring something about. I actually saw it and I was like, oh, I should put it in the Abyssal Musings chat, and I completely forgot. But let me look for it because I saw it as like, oh, that's disgusting. But let's talk about it.
Okay. Go for it.
Well, I'll have to find the article. I saw it earlier today. And this is the type of stuff that we would talk about anyway on a regular basis. So just give me a minute. Let me just find this, and then we can continue on to, I guess, ending the stream. But yeah. So how are we feeling? We're almost a week in with Trump Daddy being in office. Are we getting a little cozy or?
Oh, everything.
Oh,
The drama's already. You could tell CNN and MSNBC, they are happy as hell because that man is going to save their ratings with all the smear campaigns that they're running against him.
I don't
did
know.
you watch the press conference he did?
Yep, with
Where he was
with
signing executive orders, man. Jesus, that was entertaining.
yep. Did you see the one he just did with the mayor of Los Angeles? I'll say it 1,000 times. I've met that lady, and exactly what you guys are seeing. That's exactly how she is, and she won't even speak to you unless she thinks you're worth it.
So she
Or unless
really is dumb all day.
yeah, she's truly like that. You could walk up to her, talk to her, and she would just look at you like she doesn't understand English.
Well, it's most Democrats, but
Yep. Most
they're
of them
all
out there are
illegal.
like that. But yeah, and it was funny because it was like they're talking about the illegals and what are we gonna do to all these people, and we gotta band together against Trump. And it's like the people that he's deporting have rap sheets a mile long and have done stuff that if we say will probably get us kicked off of YouTube. And these cities are protecting these idiots. And speaking of idiots, you got the governor of Colorado running his mouth again, talking about we're going to sue the Trump administration if ICE comes over here and tries to arrest people in a church or a hospital or in a school and da da da. It's like, so
You
you're going to
can't.
waste you're going
You
to waste
can't.
yeah,
Yeah.
you're going to waste
They've
taxpayer money on something that on a lawsuit that you're not going to win.
they've they don't have to help ICE. That's been
No.
established by the Supreme Court. They don't have to help ICE to deport people. What they can't do is interfere with ICE. If they try to stop ICE from doing their job, they can be arrested.
Yep.
Well, because that's obstructing the law.
Yep,
Is what they're
obstruction
doing.
of justice. Yep.
Mhm.
The federal government has complete control over deportation of illegal aliens. Bar none, it's the state has no business in it. So if they try to interfere with that, they could be arrested themselves. And no cop's going to do that. No cop's going to be like, sure, I'll go to prison for you, mayor. Pfft, hell no. They're going to be like, yeah, you go out there and stop them.
No.
Okay, I found it. Okay, are you guys ready?
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, you're completely right. Double is like, all right, go ahead. And I actually want to see you guys try and stop. Because I kind of want to see the brutal takedown that will happen.
Yeah. I mean, all she could do is threaten, well, I'll fire you. Well, if they arrest me and they convict me, I'd never be allowed to be in law enforcement again because I would have been convicted of a federal crime. So you're not really threatening me with something that I wouldn't get worse from them.
Yeah, I kind of don't want to be in a federal prison anyway. But okay, I found it. Yeah, ready?
Hey, Abby.
All right. Man who only ate cheese, beef, and sticks of butter for 8 months suffers shocking side effect. Carnivore no more. A Florida man in his mid-40s on a meat, fat, dairy-heavy diet arrived at a Tampa hospital with ooze emanating from yellowish nodes on the palm of his hands, elbows, and the soles of his feet. The man told doctors that he adopted a carnivore diet 8 months, explaining that his daily intake was made up of entire sticks of butter, 6 to 9 pounds of cheese, and hamburger patties. Are you guys ready?
That's what Dermy's palms look like.
But that's because Dermy jerks off with like the powder you get in Kraft
butter.
macaroni and cheese.
He abuses himself with butter.
He makes his own butter.
No, that's what.
God.
Oh my gosh, I was gonna say something gross, but I decided not to. I was gonna say that's what comes out of Dermy after he gets there.
It's Dermy's butt butter.
Oh God.
He needs to get that looked at because that color ain't right.
Oh dear Christ. This is nasty all day. What the hell?
Dermy.
No, I could never do a diet like that. Like,
Why you don't like to look like Dermy like this?
No, I don't eat cheese. I try not to. I'm not like anti-cheese. It just doesn't settle right with me, so I stay away from it as much as I can.
My
So,
daughter's
but meat, sure, I'll eat.
I mean,
all day.
There are other prominent YouTubers who advocate for a diet almost exactly like this.
Oh, did
and it makes me wonder about the state of their palms.
Hey, Nomi, did you hear about the little boy that and this was also in the New York Post News. Oh wow, she's gone. You lost her. Well, I'll just tell you guys. This I think the boy's like 8 or something like that, but he went blind. And the doctors found there she is. Okay. So
I clicked on the wrong thing. I meant to click on stop sharing, but I clicked on leave studio.
I was all like, man, you made her sick with that butt butter joke, man.
So I was reading the news yesterday. This little boy went blind, and the doctors found out why. His parents were feeding him nothing but chicken nuggets since from the time he was born, from the time he was able to chew, eat anything. But they was feeding him chicken nuggets, and he went blind from eating chicken nuggets too long.
I had a dog for a very short period of time. I found him. He was. I got home way late, like at 1:00 in the morning, to my apartment, and I was walking up the stairs, and I got almost to the top, and I looked down, and there's this little black dog shivering, like just huddled in the very corner of the stairs. And so I took him in, pissed all over my apartment, little bastard. And so I called him Chance, and I only had him for a little bit because I found his owners and I gave him back that he got out, I guess. But the little fucker would eat nothing but chicken nuggets. Honest to God, I could put anything else in front of him. He wouldn't touch it, but the little bastard loved chicken nuggets for like 2.5 weeks. I had to go and buy chicken nuggets by like the fucking barrel full for that little bastard. Yeah, I don't know why. Like literally, you think he would be like skeptical of some meats but no, literally any other thing I'd put down, he'd sniff and he wouldn't want it. But if you put a chicken nugget on the ground, he'd lose his shit. It was the weirdest fucking thing. Cute dog though, very cute.
Maybe that's just what he was. Maybe that's what somebody was feeding him. I don't know.
Yeah, he probably ended up being like 800 pounds, even though he's about this big of a dog.
Arteries were all
basketball by
clogged.
the end. Yeah, died probably a year later from heart attack.
Oh man. Well, that is it for today. Do you guys want to? Oh, before we leave, so you guys, Sam will not be here next week. He has a function going on in another dimension, so he has to fly off and do whatever he does with his cousin and cousin Pennywise and the rest of them.
Does it involve snakes?
No,
Probably. He's
snakes
going
are
to
an Earth thing.
He's going to an intergalactic snake festival.
Ooh, kinky.
No, we don't have
Exactly.
those. Snakes are strictly an Earth thing.
The sleuths are having a meetup.
Ah.
No, it's much simpler than that, folks. I have an old friend coming to town, and I'm going to go spend some time with her son before I don't get another chance for it.
You're going on a date? Oh,
It's one of his
Jesus
exes.
Christ, Nomi, you're also a woman and my friend. You don't get to be. I have more than one woman friend.
Yeah, no, but the difference is Nomi doesn't have an arrest record. That's usually a prerequisite to be your girlfriend.
No, just a
or
friend just
your
coming
ex.
to town. She doesn't have an arrest record. In fact, her dad's a cop.
But
That
are you guys
doesn't
going to
mean
be
anything.
eating like?
Do you know how
are you
many
guys gonna-
porn stars? Do you know how many pastors have daughters that are porn stars?
I'm aware of that, but I've known this woman for 25 years. Trust me, she has no history of acting out. None.
Are you guys gonna have some gourmet grilled snakes? Snakes?
Maybe. I don't know. They serve
Snake.
if I can talk her into going to my favorite local restaurant, they do actually serve python and rattlesnake there, so maybe.
Sauteed pythons.
Sam right now is in the dilemma of trying to figure out how to dish the kid. That's he's like, how am I going to get rid of this little bastard child?
He's like my nephew. I've known him since he was born. It's not like that. We haven't seen each other in a couple of years, and she's coming to town, so I'm gonna hang out with her and
he's all
not be online.
Hold on, I really
Fuck all
like
you guys.
I really like Aaron Laura's comment. Snick stick.
Hey, Aaron, Sam has a king cobra that he uses as a fleshlight.
Snick stick.
That's objectively untrue.
I like how
Anyhow.
I like how you had to think about it. It's like
He likes how the
true.
fangs
But
look
it's,
happy.
I'm so disgusted with you guys right now.
He likes how the fangs nick his prick.
Snick stick. Snick stick.
Yeah, Zillage, I know I did. I shouldn't have said fuck off. I shouldn't have said anything about it at all.
Should have said you were having surgery or some shit. We'd have been a lot nicer.
I'm having surgery. They're gonna go pull my balls out of Larry's
Sam's gonna
purse.
be in the operating room making love to the scalpel.
Should just came on and said, I'm going to having a penis reduction. I just can't carry this weight around anymore.
I can't be burdened by glorious purpose anymore.
He's gonna go get a tentacle reduction.
You know, it's funny because all of that is in direct contrast to what I usually tell new women that I'm trying to hook up with, which is you couldn't handle both inches. That way they're pleasantly surprised.
You might get away with the first one, but the second one creeps up on you.
It gives her the reach around.
I don't like this conversation anymore.
And she'll be like,
I didn't like it at all to begin with.
Why does this tentacle have brown on the tip? It looks like it's got
I mean, 6 in the pink, 1 in the stink, man.
And the other that wraps around.
He'll turn on some hentai. And he'd be like, "Surprise!"
Right, right. Well, now that we've done that, perhaps we should chill our shit and get the hell out of here.
Well, yeah, I was just about to say. Do you guys want to push anything? We'll start with you, Devil.
Yeah, catch us in a half an hour. Me, Nomi, and Sam over on the hub for the pub. I don't know how many of the regulars are showing up. They're dropping like flies, so we might have to come up with more than one topic, Sam, to cover the time. But yeah, check that out. There will be no get ranked this week. It should be a get ranked week, but I'm gonna not do that because I gotta go do something. That penis reduction surgery I was talking about. So yeah, no show.
Inches, right?
What?
You going down to 14 inches? I didn't think you were serious when you told me that.
Not that small. Hell no. I was thinking somewhere around 18. Just just take a little off the top. But yeah,
just the tip.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And before we move to you, Nomi, just to let you guys know, even though Sam will not be here next week, I will be here. Don't know who. I guess Devil will be around whenever. Nomi, if you're available, for sure you're finally come through.
I'll come in and plug some holes so you don't miss Sam too much.
All right. That's all right. Let's see. I did have something to say, but I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it. Anyway, but yeah, no, I will be here next week. Nomi?
I may be here next week. Really does depend. Actually, yeah, it really does depend now that I'm thinking about it out loud in my mind. You can catch me on Moon Skull on Mondays for Call of Cthulhu. Oh, tomorrow, apparently, I'm playing Marvel Rivals with Sevi and Smooth DJ. That was news to me maybe like an hour ago. It was like, I didn't remember agreeing to that, but okay. And not like saying like I hate it, but I was like, oh, okay, I guess I'll be there. And then also you can catch me in half hour that I also completely forgot that I'm going to be on. Is a Devil show in half an hour. So yeah, you can also follow me on Twitter at Nomi Without You.
All right.
Back to you, Larry.
Sam.
Well, all right, I'll go first. So as for my part, yeah, you can find me in a short time with Noe and Devil over on Beelzebub on the channel Beelzebub, which is Devil's channel. He does a lot of great content. Definitely go check that out. Definitely check out Nomi's content. Larry actually has a few things up on his channel as well. All of those links are in the description below. Please do check them all out. As far as that goes, we'll be back here after Beelzebub tomorrow for Screaming into the Void. I got a few things lined up for tomorrow as far as topics go. We'll see how it goes. You know, it probably won't be as chill as last week because Davos was this week. So we do have a couple of things there from that side of hell. And then otherwise, yeah, you can find me over on Exiled Lioness 2 or on Adam the Renaissance Nerds channel or right back. Well, actually, no, I forget myself. Next week, I will not be here for Abyssal Musings or Beelzebub because I will be otherwise occupied. That's all I'm saying about that shit. But we will be back
with a woman.
Shut up. We will be having Screaming into the Void next Saturday, though. It's just Friday night. I took the whole day off. I'm not doing anything else. So
dang, she must be real special.
Anyway, we're getting out of here, folks, as soon as Larry plugs his shit. Thank you all for coming and being here and putting up with our nonsense.
Well, I do have something to say. I know I kind of sat down with everything that was going on in my life. I kind of sat down what I was doing with my other channel, which was writing stories and then reading them. Some of you that are new, like Aaron, Laura, I don't even think you any of you knew that I was doing that I have a second channel. But I'm gonna start writing some material for that too and going back to it. I also got inspired by a certain green-haired young lady. I am thinking about reading books, like recording, and reading. So I don't want to completely steal Gal's gimmick. It'll probably be recorded. But I'm thinking about reading like mysteries and thrillers and stuff like that, like new stuff, because she's reading some good stuff. But I am thinking about doing that as well. Everybody keeps telling me I have the voice for, why aren't you reading stuff online and why aren't you doing this one?
You guys are gonna start a whole new thing. Instead of BlackTube, it'll be BookTube.
You know what? That's
BookTube is
not
a
a bad
thing.
idea.
You guys could fit in pretty well there, I think.
There you go.
I'll talk to her about it. But yeah, I mean, no, that would be cool. I'd love to do something with Gal. But you know, Gal's also busy. She's got a lot going on, just like everybody on this panel. But yeah, I'll let you guys know what's going on with that. So I've got my creative juices rolling again. And for me, like I said, I'll be here next week. We'll have something for you guys. I don't know who will be here next week, but even if it's just me, I'll have something ready. And you can catch me tomorrow in the chat of the world famous Exile Lioness 2 channel as a moderator if she goes on, which I suspect she will. And that's it.
Yeah. Thanks for coming, y'all. Remember, YouTube, Rumble, Twix, all y'all. Could be worse. Could be raining flaming cobras here on the internets. So,
and he'll be having that for dinner next week.
Yep.
Or you could, or you could be sleeping with. You could be using dead snakes as fleshlights, like
I'm
Sam.
gonna push button now.